Every hidden truth, once confessed, becomes a bridge between illusion and freedom. Subscription note: subscribe to Tears and Truth, where stories don't flinch, and neither should you. When the story begins, summer 2023, as the sun scorches the asphalt of WonderVerse Park, America's happiest place on earth, Lila Martinez adjusted the sweat-soaked head of Bounce, the park's giant cartoon rabbit, her mascot costume reeking of bleach and stale cotton candy. Outside her stifling costume break room, children squealed as fireworks painted the sky. It was WonderVerse's 50th anniversary, and the park buzzed with record crowds. But Lila's reality was a far cry from the magic she sold. Her shift had started at 5 a.m., prepping for the Sunrise with Bounce event. For $12.50 per hour, she hugged toddlers, danced in parades, and smiled through heatstroke-inducing temps. Today, a mother had yanked Bounce's ear, yelling, "Dance harder," while her daughter cried. Lila's ankle, still sprained from a slip on last week's greasy parade float, throbbed. Management's response? Costumes don't get sick days. At lunch, Lila crouched behind a dumpster, peeling off the rabbit head to gasp for air. Her phone buzzed, a reminder for her younger brother's insulin prescription. Her paycheck was already $200 short. She'd begged for overtime, but WonderVerse hired seasonal teens instead. Cheaper, disposable. That evening, as Lila shuffled toward the employee lot, a security guard stopped her. "Costume stays on until you're off property," he barked. "No spoiling the magic." She complied, tears mixing with sweat inside the mask. In the parking lot, she spotted a new graffiti tag on a dumpster. "They watch. You don't." Her phone lit up with an unknown number. "Meet me at funnel cake stand number 3 after close. I know what they're hiding." A friend, Jake Thompson, a 44-year-old Navy veteran, tightened the bolt on the Skyscreamer's rusted track with hands calloused from decades of maintenance work. The ride's operator, a college kid named Dylan, joked, "Scared the bolts'll snap?" Jake didn't laugh. Last week, he'd filed a report about the track's cracks. Management deleted it. "Just keep the safety-first spiel going," his supervisor had warned. No bad press before the anniversary. Jake's wife, Maria, was battling stage 4 breast cancer. WonderVerse Insurance denied her experimental treatment. Too costly. He'd taken out loans, but the interest was suffocating. When he'd begged for a raise, HR shrugged. "Be grateful you're not automated yet." That night, Jake lingered after shift, inspecting the Skyscreamer alone. His flashlight caught a fissure snaking through a critical joint. He snapped a photo, but his phone buzzed. A security alert. Someone was coming. He hid as 2 suits approached, murmuring, "Delay repairs until Q4. Investors won't approve." Jake's blood boiled. He'd spent years trusting the system. But this? Murder. Meanwhile, Lila arrived at funnel cake stand number 3, still in her rabbit costume. A shadowy figure emerged, Elena, a former Princess Aurora who'd quit after a breakdown. "They're gaslighting us," Elena hissed, handing Lila a USB. Security footage. A kid got hurt on PixieCoaster last month. They blamed the parents, but it was their faulty brakes. Lila's stomach dropped. "Why tell me?" "Because you're desperate enough to fight." Lila clutched the USB like a grenade. Back in her cramped apartment, she plugged it into her laptop. Grainy footage showed a family boarding the PixieCoaster, their daughter's unicorn backpack bouncing. The brake sparked, then failed. The cart lurched backward, slamming into a maintenance shed. The mother's screams were cut off as security swarmed, seizing phones. The timestamp, June 15, 2023. 2 days later, WonderVerse issued a statement. "Guest error caused the incident. Our rides exceed federal safety standards." Lila's hands shook. She texted Elena, "What now?" "Find others." The tunnels. Beneath WonderVerse's glittering facade lay a labyrinth of service tunnels, where employees smuggled coffee, naps, and secrets. At 3 a.m., Lila slipped into the underground. Flickering bulbs illuminated peeling, "Keep the magic alive." Posters. Voices echoed. Jake, Elena, and 3 others huddled near a rusted pipe. Jake held up his phone, the sky screamer Fisher glowing on screen. "They're gambling lives to save pennies. My wife." His voice cracked. "She's got weeks left. I won't let this park kill someone else's family." A housekeeper named Rosa spoke next. She'd found blood-stained uniforms in a VIP suite after a senator's visit. "They made me sign an NDA. Paid me $500 to forget." Elena unrolled a map. "Security erases evidence, but they can't scrub us. We leak everything: safety reports, guest injuries, wage theft. Go viral before the anniversary finale." Lila hesitated. "They'll fire us. Or sue us," Jake said. "But what's left to lose?" They split tasks. Rosa would access HR files. Jake would document the sky screamer. Lila, still in Bounce's costume, would film guest areas. "Wear this," Elena said, handing her a necklace with a tiny camera. "They scan employees for phones, but not jewelry." The next day, Lila smiled through her mask while recording a maintenance crew ignoring a leaking hydrant near the Dragon's Lair ride. A child slipped, but his father caught him. "Watch it!" the dad snapped at Lila. As if she'd choreographed the hazard at a sunset, the group regrouped in the tunnels. Rosa brought pay stubs showing $3 million in wage violations. Jake had photos of the skyscraper's cracks, now duct-taped. Elena smirked. "Tomorrow we burn it all down." A noise echoed footsteps. They scattered as a security radio hissed. "Unauthorized personnel in Sector 7. Detain." The skyscraper's line stretched past the Ferris wheel. Teenagers snapped selfies as the ride's 200-foot tower loomed, its red paint peeling like a sunburn. Jake watched from the ground, his wrench tucked in his belt. Management had ordered the ride open despite his warnings. Today he'd decided no one would die. He approached Dylan, the operator. "I need to check the restraints." "They're fine," Dylan said, eyes glued to his phone. "Chill, old man." Jake's radio blared. "Thompson, report to Splash Canyon. Leak in Pump B. A setup." He froze as the ride's gears whirred. The carts ascended. Lila, filming nearby, noticed Jake's pallor. She followed his gaze to the track. The fissure had widened, a sinister vein. She sprinted toward the control booth, but security guards materialized, blocking her. "Costumed characters aren't allowed here." One sneered. "The ride's unsafe," she shouted. Guests turned, murmuring. A mother gripped her son's hand. "Safety is our priority," the guard recited, grabbing Lila's arm. Inside the rabbit head, she bit her lip until it bled. Above, the skyscraper paused at its peak. Then a gunshot crack. The cart tipped, suspended by a single bolt. Screams erupted as phones filmed the dangling riders. Jake lunged for the emergency stop, but Dylan yanked him back. "They'll fire me. They'll kill you," Jake roared, shoving him aside. He slammed the button. The bolt snapped. Time fractured. The cart plunged, metal screeching. Jake's body moved before his mind. He tackled a teenager clear of the debris. The cart smashed into the midway, shattering a popcorn cart. Smoke, blood, silence. Lila's camera captured it all. The twisted metal, the investor's daughter, VIP wristband gleaming. Being whisked away, the park's PR head declaring, "A tragic isolated incident." Underground, the group huddled, trembling. Rosa sobbed. "A boy's in the hospital. His leg's gone." Elena slammed a fist on the table. We post the footage. Now. Jake stared at his hands. I could have stopped it. You did, Lila whispered, showing him the video of his tackle. You saved someone. At dawn, Elena uploaded everything to a dummy account at Wonder Whistleblower. The caption, share this before they delete it. The video trended in 6 hours. By noon, #ShutWonderVerse dominated Twitter. Parents tagged senators. OSHA launched investigations. Influencers staged protests at the park gates. Management scrambled, offering free lifetime passes to victims. A hollow bribe. Lila arrived at work to find Bounce's costume shredded in a dumpster. Terminated for unauthorized filming, her email read. But her phone buzzed nonstop, requests from CNN, the New York Times. Elena warned, they'll threaten lawsuits. Stay silent. Jake sat in Maria's hospital room, holding her hand as the news played. WonderVerse stock plummets. Maria squeezed back. You did good. She rasped that he kissed her forehead. Not yet. That night, Jake live-streamed from the tunnels. Over 200,000 viewers tuned in. My name's Jake Thompson. I maintained their death traps. My wife's dying, and they called her a cost risk. He held up the duct-taped bolt. This is what greed looks like. Lila joined him, Bounce's head under her arm. They sell magic but profit from misery. We're not cast members, we're people. Tears streaked her face as she described her brother's insulin rationing. The chat exploded. Venmo at Lila Martinez. Donations poured INWBY morning. WonderVerse CEO resigned. The park, temporarily closed for renovations. Investigators found violations in every ride. But the victory was brittle. Rosa was evicted after WonderVerse sued her for theft. Elena vanished. Rumor said a settlement bought her silence. Jake carried Maria's ashes to the park gates, now plastered with closed signs. We broke it, he whispered. Lila, though, sat in a college auditorium, invited to speak about workers' rights. Her brother's insulin was paid for a year. WonderVerse sold a fantasy, she told the crowd. But reality? That's ours to rewrite. The clip went viral. Comments rolled in. I worked at a theme park too. This happens at my warehouse? The magic, finally, was real. Subscribe to Tears and Truth for more stories that peel back the smiles.